Have you ever noticed that the strongest men don't beg for attention? They don't chase. They don't need validation, and yet, women crave them, dream about them, and break their own rules for them. Why? Because these men have mastered the art of control. Not just physical control, but emotional, psychological, and intimate dominance. Most men fail in relationships because they seek validation instead of control. They think intimacy is just about physical pleasure, but they're wrong. Real intimacy is about power. It's about making a woman so deeply connected to you that she feels addicted, obsessed, and completely under your spell. In this video, I'm going to reveal 5 secret Stoic positions, not just physical positions, but psychological power moves that will make a woman lose control. These positions will give you such a powerful edge that she won't last a minute before surrendering to you mentally, emotionally, and physically. But before we begin, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button, because what I'm about to share will completely change your love life. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Now let's begin. 1. The Stoic lock. Control her mind, own her soul. Reflect on the turning point in your romantic history. Can we call that a kiss? Just a little? No, it was that sensation. The one you get when your mind is totally under your control, and her body reacts to you physically as well as to what you do. But I must inquire of you this. Do you remember a time when you felt completely helpless? Perhaps she ceased responding to her texts. Perhaps she withdrew when the tension was at its highest. Perhaps in the end of it all, she just departed. You were left to ponder the cause of the problem. I have something to tell you that the majority of men will never get. It wasn't your appearance. No, that wasn't your cash. Not even your sex skills mattered. You embodied that energy. A woman's feelings for a man are more important than his actions when it comes to determining whether she will fall in love with him. Additionally, women have a hard time saying no when they perceive a man as having unwavering authority over them. The Stoic lock is useful in that situation. Unveiling the mysteries of the Stoic lock. Most men make the rookie mistake of trying to rush into intimacy. Impressionism is their goal. Something is being proved by them. And just like that, their power goes out the window. But a Stoic man, he does the reverse. He walks slowly, not because he's timid, but because he's in charge. He generates tension, letting her sense his presence before he ever touches her. He doesn't simply stare at her, he maintains her attention until she feels like she's drowning in it. Let's take a moment to think about this. Have you ever had a woman gaze at you so profoundly that it made you feel weak? That's the power of eye contact. Most guys break it too quickly. They turn away, they chuckle. Awkwardly, they grow uncomfortable. But a Stoic man, he never looks away first. And in that moment, she feels stuck, locked. The item is owned. What is the outcome of this action? Chasing women is nothing new for males. The men who can't manage the pressure and who want to hurry, things are nothing new to them. Amazing things occur, though, if you learn to use the Stoic lock. Her composure dwindles. Her respiration rate shifts. She starts to feel confused. Even before she knows it, her body is reacting. And what's even more shocking? She is perplexed as to why. The reason for this is because physical supremacy is not at stake. This pertains to penetrating the mind. Reflect on that one girl who was in your life before. The departed, the one who caused you pain. That one, even when you're asleep, continues to occupy your thoughts. Is it possible that she stayed? What if she was so captivated by you, so vulnerable in your company, that she never contemplated leaving? The Stoic lock is powerful in that respect, and when you get the hang of it, you won't want to pursue any other lady. 2. The Unshakable grip, power that melts resistance. And now I want to ask you a very personal question. Have you ever felt that you were about to lose a lady even when she was in your arms? When you kissed someone, did you ever feel as if they were mentally someplace else? That is due to the fact that the majority of males are ill-equipped to make a lady feel totally captivated. They equate strength with muscular power. To them, aggressiveness is at the heart of dominance. And yet the reality? Control is the essence of true domination. No amount of physical force can hold her if you lack control over yourself, your energy, and how she feels while you're around. For that reason, the Unshakable grip possesses immense strength. The key to an unbreakable hold. Kind men aren't desired by women. They have no desire for suckers. They long for a man who can reassure them that they are in good hands. What matters most in the Unshakable grip is not how you hold her, but how she feels held. Feel free to touch her without hesitation. Holding her waist gently means not squeezing her too tightly, but also not releasing her either. Drawing her nearer gives the impression that she is totally subservient to you. Force has no place here. Reassurance is the topic at hand. She must have the impression that she is in the company of an expert, one who remains composed while faced with adversity, someone who, under any circumstances, can be relied on to maintain command. Just a moment, please. Consider your most recent breakup. The agony, the nightmares, the feelings of shame. Do you ever find yourself wondering, what if her interest remained constant? Could it be that she never retreated? What if she always thought you were strong? The actions of other men do not cause women to depart. When they no longer feel wanted, safe, or overwhelmed by you, they depart. And the moment she loses that sensation, she is already gone. What is the outcome of this action? Something shifts within her the second she senses the unshakable grip. A heavier breath leaves her lips. Her reluctance dissolves. She completely immerses herself in the experience, forgetting about her thoughts and worries. The reason for this is because women, at their core, desire security. Their ideal man would do more than touch them. He would claim them. And when you get the hang of it, your presence will remain etched in her memory forever. 3. The eye contact hold. Penetrate her mind before her body. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever gazed into a woman's eyes and felt like she was slipping away? Maybe she was physically close, but emotionally far. Maybe she smiled, but something was lacking. Maybe she kissed you, but you could tell her thoughts was someplace else. Because most guys pay attention to what's going on in their bodies, but disregard what's going on in their minds. Listen up, this is going to rock your world of romantic relationships. It's not a man's physical touches that make a woman fall in love with him. It's his mental touches that do the trick. In such a situation, the eye contact hold is useful. Why making eye contact is so powerful? Think about this, there's a woman with you. Dangling underneath you is her body. Aside from her breaths, there is complete silence in the room. You do something that most guys would never dream of doing. You wait before moving in and concentrating on physical touch. Your eyes meet hers, not for a fleeting moment, rather than only in the abstract. When she feels like she's going to drown, you grasp it tightly. Most males fall short in this area. They quickly avert their eyes. They feel anxious. They fail to comprehend that a woman wants a guy capable of enduring the profound emotional connection that exists between them. However, a remarkable transformation occurs upon mastery of the eye contact hold. Something shifts in her heart rate. Everyone feels her muscles tighten. For some reason, she begins to lose control. Consider your previous romantic partnerships. Reflect about the ladies who have abandoned you. Have you ever considered the possibility that they sensed a void? They could have liked you. Perhaps they had a good time when they were with you. In reality, though, they were never really engrossed in your company. The actions of other males do not drive women to go. When they no longer feel threatened by you, they depart. What is the outcome of this action? A woman's emotional breakdown occurs when she realizes no one is looking and she feels utterly exposed. A heavier breath leaves her lips. She sounds nervous. In search of a grip, her hands extend in all directions. She has lost command, for the simple reason that women desire more than simply physical contact, claiming them as their desire. When she experiences it then, her perception of you will be forever altered. The Stoic edge, the art of making her beg. Picture this for a second. Visualize the woman who left you in the past, the one who said she had lost interest, the one who drew back till he was no longer in her presence. Why not assume she was always interested? What if she was bored all the time, never forgot how much she loved you, and never grew tired of you? That is the function of the Stoic edge. How the Stoic edge is kept a secret. The majority of males commit this error. They are too quick to hand things out. Assuming it is her desire, they hasten the climax. The reality, though, is, when you offer a lady everything she wants, she will eventually cease wanting it. The suspense, the buildup, and the expectation are what women thrive on. Once you get the hang of the Stoic edge, you'll be able to frustrate her to no end, both mentally and physically. The process is as follows. You begin at a very sluggish pace. She believes she's finally getting her way, and then you cut off all communication. You step back, you wait, and you give her the space she craves. She may be reluctant at first. Her goal is to maintain command. The third or fourth time, though, something truly remarkable occurs. She becomes disoriented. She is betrayed by her body. Her respiration starts to become irregular. She begins to physically beg instead of verbally pleading. And at that very second, she is entirely at your disposal. Reasons for its success. Even guys who seem to have it all will eventually lose their women. Men who tease them to the point where they desire more manage to capture their hearts. Remember your former partner. When you text first, chase too hard, or give too much, remember those moments. What transpired? She withdrew a little. Her demeanor strayed. Afterwards, she departed. She would never have left you if you had perfected the Stoic edge and forced her to wait, hunger, and plead. Her addiction would have persisted. 5. The dominant overlap. The position that makes her completely surrender. I have a question for you. When was the last time you wished a lady might be totally and totally yours, in more ways than one? Not for a single evening, but to the point where she would be unable to consider anybody else, no matter how hard she tried? Consider your previous romantic partnerships. Has a lady ever drifted away? Perhaps she began to distance herself. Perhaps her texting habits changed. Perhaps there was a night when she treated you like any other guy, rather than the one who had the power to get her pulse racing. Imagine if I told you there was a method to guarantee she will never experience such emotions again. In this case, we have the dominant overlap. Reasons for the predominant overlap and their power. Intimacy, according to most guys, is all about having fun. But ladies, there is a depth that women want. Their want is to be subdued, control, experiencing total release. It is precisely for this reason that the dominant overlap was created. The process is as follows. Flat on her stomach, you set her down. You ensure her body is pinned by pressing down. As a sign of dominance, you clasp her hands behind her back. After that, you proceed at a leisurely pace. She may be reluctant at first. This is not due to her lack of desire. However, this level of intensity is completely new to her. Her physical self will resist. She will make an effort to maintain her authority. However, she begins to lose her identity the more you pin her. The reasons why this finally gives in to women. Women aren't only looking for passion. They desire the sensation of being unable to flee from your sight. Why? Because the reality is, if a man was excellent in bed, a woman will forget about him. A man who forced her to give up all control, nevertheless, will be in her memory forever. Mastering the dominant overlap also brings her to a stage where her breaths get labored. Her grip on anything tightens as her hands clench. She loses control as her body begins to tremble. Plus, eventually, she releases her grip. Absence of opposition. Without reserve. Complete and utter surrender. When you locked eyes with a lady, did you ever feel as though she was slipping away? It felt like she was never quite there, no matter how much you did to make her happy. The majority of guys are clueless when it comes to achieving total submissiveness from females. They consider enjoyment to be sufficient. However, women aren't easily swayed by sensual experiences. The moment he seizes control, they give in to his charms. What makes this work for any woman? I have a painful question for you now. When was the last time a woman's desire for you to fade? Perhaps she was the first to text before, now she takes too long to respond. Perhaps she used to beg to see you, but she's too busy these days. Perhaps ultimately you are aware of her presence is fading. But I'll share something with you. Men never grow tired of entertaining women. When they no longer sense your presence, that is when they will lose interest. Learning the dominant overlap makes her feel more than just your physical presence. You are on her thoughts. What about that? Nothing a lady ever forgets about it. No other guy would ever be able to equal the intensity she felt when she was held down and totally yielded. Why this will drive her crazy over you. Pleasant guys are not pursued by women. Men who compliment them are not pursued. The men who evoke a response in them are the ones they pursue. She will feel possessed, not merely something. When you apply the dominant overlap, she is unprepared for the way her body will respond. She will have an uncontrollable amount of preoccupation in her thinking. What happens when it ends? Your presence will occupy her thoughts incessantly. She'll keep checking her phone, hoping to see a message from you. She will mentally relive every moment. She'll have an intense need for you that she's never had for anybody else. When will she see you again? She'll be pleading for more before you know it. Please take a big breath right now, and remember the lady who caused you emotional pain. Remember when they no longer desired you, the one who drew back till he was no longer in her presence. Envisioning a world where time could be turned back, what would that mean? Imagine if, rather of losing her, you succeeded in making her dependent on you. What if instead of you pursuing her, it was the other way around? The focus here isn't only on enjoyment. This pertains to authority, the ability to captivate a lady to the point where she feels an irresistible pull toward you. After you get the hang of these methods, though, you will always have women at your side. Conclusion. Justifications for these roles. Intimacy isn't the only thing that these 5 Stoic positions address. Mental, emotional, and psychological domination are at the heart of these. It takes more than a man's physique to captivate a lady. His enthusiasm captivates her. His command, in the most effective method imaginable, he managed to render her helpless. Are you the one in charge then? Or the one who grovels? Like and subscribe to the channel if you're serious about becoming an expert in this level of intimacy. Additional profound realizations are on the way to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.